Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I've got a very familiar face with me today. It's Jack from Spurs Related with his twin brother, Harry.
Hey, debut.
Harry, making your debut on the channel. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Good 3 points today.
Let's talk about it. Jack, how you doing?
Look, I'm doing well. Glad to be back on the channel. It's been too long. Hope everyone's doing well, happy and healthy, doing the things they love, as Sean likes to say. But yeah, big 3 points today. Got to be honest, it wasn't pretty all the time in my opinion, but we got the job done. Stay positive, but there's a lot of work to be done if we're being honest.
Let me start, guys, with the team selection. No Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah.
We know that Mickey van der Ven, when he's in the team this season, I think Tottenham average 2.2 points per game. When he's not in it, it's 1.1.
Yeah.
Given that we need 17 points before the game started to get to the promised land of probably top 4, 70 points.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Mickey van der Ven not being in the team, and how did you feel about the team selection in general?
Do you want to take this one or shall I?
Yeah, I think we struggled first half because we was missing that left-footed centre half where it dictates to like the wing backs. But
Right.
I thought Dragson he had a shaky start, but he got into the game. But I think Romero calmed him, and then he obviously big team talk at half time, and I thought we started playing much better. But I think I thought the Kulevsky was awful today, so I think it was right to make the change. I think Johnson's pace threatening behind, so I thought that changed up the team, and I thought we were just a higher up in general.
Would you have preferred to have seen Mickey van der Ven, Harry, at the start of the game?
Well, we got West Ham on Tuesday, so I thought if we played him today, I think that's a more important game.
Right.
So I thought we was just going to rest him, because you don't want him to pull up a hamstring today and be out for the rest of the season.
Oh, I think me and Harry said off camera, I think Mickey van der Ven is so critical to the way we play. He's pivotal, isn't he?
Yep.
He's like a Rolls Royce at the back. He starts the attack. The way he plays out from the back to the fullbacks. I think we all like Dragoshin. We know it's going to take time. But with Mickey van der Ven, you know what you're getting. He's composed on the ball. He can start from defence to attack. And I think everyone feels comfortable around him. I think Dragoshin is going to take time to get into the game. I think he's kind of your old-fashioned, typical, aggressive centre-half. And I think when you pair that with Romero, it kind of causes problems.
Right.
When we lost to Fulham, I think it kind of created a lot of space. Muniz is a good striker, and he kind of realised that he's going to be on him all the time. So if he spins around the back, he's going to create that space for himself. I think with Mickey van der Ven and Romero, you've got the perfect balance where you've got someone who's willing to stick off and kind of have that recovery pace, but then you've got Romero who's wins the ball straight away and starts the attack.
Just quickly, Jack, on that, a lot of people around me today were sort of saying, "I don't know about Radu. Don't know, this guy's struggling. He struggled against Fulham. Struggled." Like, I personally don't want to judge the guy in any event for a long time. Give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I think it's important to remember that he hasn't had a chance to play on the right. He's a right footer.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's historically, in his last club, he's played at right side, centre back or right back. Now, Ange has said, I don't see the difference between a right side and a left side. If you're a centre back, you're a centre back.
Yeah.
But to someone like Dragoshin, it is important.
Especially, we're forgetting. He might look about 35, but he's 21 years of age.
Right,
He's
yeah.
inexperienced. Okay, he's come through the Juventus setup. He's a very good footballer. There's no reason why clubs like Bayern Munich, Napoli were looking at him. He's going to come into form. We've seen with Brennan Johnson, everyone's favourite person to give stick, and look who changed the game around again today. So
right.
give these players time. Yes, he is a right-footed centre-back, but don't forget he's coming to be the third choice. Mickey van der Ven and Romero have played together on multiple occasions. They understand what they need to do, and Dragoshin coming into that fold in a tricky team against Luton. Don't forget Colton Morrissey, a good player. He knows what he needs to do. He's aggressive. His positional awareness is really good, and I think he dealt with it okay today. Yes, he's not kind of that player who's going to start the attack from the defence. I don't think he has got a good long field ball in him, but he's not someone who's neat and tidy like Mickey van der Ven. But give him time, and I reckon he'll be a good player for us.
100%. Harry, let me ask you, mate, as the game started, we go 1-0 down against Luton, a team that couldn't have wished for a better start to the game. From then on, they sat back and essentially tried to gobble up everything. It made it very frustrating for us in the first half. Do you think that Luton were right to sit back and just absorb? They have carried on playing football?
That was their game plan, to go smash and grab and try and just stick it out, waste time like did. That's why we had 9 minutes at the end of the game. But I just thought it was just a poor start. But I'd rather us go 1-0 down early before the 80th minute and we're like rushing. And so I think obviously it was a poor start, but in hindsight it was good for us to get going. I thought first first half our midfield was non-existent. If you look at back, they had 3 people marking James Maddison. So when Lo Celso came on, I think it gave a different dynamic to the game.
Yeah, we're going to come to that in a second, Harry. Let me just start. I'll stick with you, mate, for a second. On the in terms of the first half, you've got Timo Werner on the left-hand side and down the right-hand side, Kulusevski. Chances for both. Neither of them get involved. Sonny also gets the ball round. Couldn't have done much better. Hits the ball, takes it around the keeper, hits the ball, hits the inside of the right post, hits the outside of the left post. It pops back out again. Tottenham fans around me were getting frustrated, but did we deserve to go in 1-0 down at half time, or do you think that there was more? I think more even than we thought.
It was more even than we think, but the thing is, we don't have enough shots, and obviously goals win games, and I think both of them our front three need to take our chances. That's no denying that, but I think it's closer than you think. But Luton had their game plan set, and I thought we just weren't quick enough. Yeah. I think everyone was so on top of each other second half, so that's why I think the subs did help. Opened up the game a little bit more, played a bit more width, like we normally like sitting narrow. But I thought it was pretty even first half, but Luton had their chances as well, but they did step back more and more, and I just thought 1-0, they just got that lucky goal from Chong, and I thought he had a good first half.
Yeah, I think there's a few players that had a good first half, Jack.
Yeah.
But let's not, for the purpose of a Tottenham fan, we're not going to talk too much about Luton. Let's talk about Tottenham.
Why not, eh?
Sonny takes the ball round, hits one post, hits the other, bounces back out. Obviously, Timo Werner had the chance in the first half as well. He hits it wide. Timo had bad games, though, didn't he?
The thing with Timo is, I actually said today to Harry, and I was like, I want to see him play. He excites me. Like, when you watch him play, you want him to do well. You think he's electric.
You're
like, yeah, I do. I'll come to it. He lacks conviction. We know he lacks conviction, and he's one of those players I root for because I think he's electric pace. I think he knows what he wants to do, but when he gets to that final hurdle, it's like he doesn't know what he needs to do. I think we had a couple of chances at the end in the second half when he could kind of shift it onto his right foot and create that space for a goal, but he just seems like a deer in the headlights at the minute when he's got that time, when he's got that chance.
I feel like the Fulham miss, that bounced off his shin, is because he got a little bit of luck in a couple of other games. I think it was Man United, a few other games where he did get the goals, and a lot of Tottenham fans were thinking maybe he's past that, maybe the demons have escaped him. But the Fulham miss, and then today that one, I think he had 2 actually.
Yeah. He's always in the right position. It's very frustrating.
He's not a finisher.
He's not a finisher, and realistically, I think next year, if we really want to progress, you've kind of got to invest in a quality winger, maybe like a Pedro Neto. I'm a fan of Rafinha.
You wouldn't pay the 15 million quid.
Would I? It's not that I wouldn't pay the £15 million, but are we going to buy a Timo, and are we going to spend £60 million on another winger as well?
Yeah.
I think there's a player in there, but there's only so many times you can say that.
Let me ask you this: if you had to keep one of Brian Hill, Manor Solomon, or Timo Werner, who do you keep?
I haven't seen enough for Solomon. I think he statistically was fantastic in the first couple of months. I think he had a great game against Burnley. I think he's very productive in what he does as well. I think he's creative. I think he plays football simple, and also we know he likes to cut in and wrap the ball in the goal. We've seen it a couple goals for Fulham. I would go for Timo out of them 3, probably, just because I haven't seen enough for Solomon. But
if you're going to buy
ambitious.
Timo, you have to sell one of the other 2, right? To make space.
Yeah, I'd probably sell Hill. I just don't think he's shown enough. I like Brian Hill, but realistically, if I was the manager, I'd play more in the centre where he can drive at players, but I just think he's too lightweight, and I think the Spanish league's probably best for him.
Okay. Let's move on, guys, to the second half. Everything changes. I said on my own match fan cam thing just now, I had a bet before the game. I said Luton would score first. I said we'd be losing at half time, just kind of had it in my bones. But Tottenham would come out second half like we usually do and play a lot better football.
Yeah.
And we did start the second half better. But for me, the massive change, the massive polar shift in our momentum was when Bentancur and, more importantly, Giovanni Lo Celso came on the pitch. I thought Lo Celso had one of his best games in the Tottenham shirt today.
I've got to be honest, and I'm sure you agree with me. Me and Harry spoke about it before. I'm a massive fan of Giovanni Lo Celso.
Same.
It's just such a shame that he's always injured.
Same,
I think he brings a different element to the game. I like the fact that he's left-footed. He can be creative. Harry sometimes gets frustrated when he does those outside of the boot passes because sometimes you want to see it.
Too flamboyant.
Yeah,
right?
Too flamboyant. Unnecessary, Harry would say. But I just feel like Lo Celso brings a different element. I think with that Argentinian in him, he wants to win all the time. He puts 100% into every match. You saw at the end there, he was a massive reason why Luton were on the attack, and then he won the ball,
he won that ball
won
back.
the foul, and that's what you need.
60,000 people stood up and applauded him for that.
And
right?
that's what's needed. And I think he is someone who brings something different, and I'd like to see him given a run of games. I think
ahead of Maddison.
Maybe not ahead of Maddison, but a bit of rotation, because Maddison, let's be honest, guys, he's a fantastic footballer, but he hasn't hit the ground running since he's been back at injury. I think he looks void of ideas. I think sometimes the midfield's too congested. Maddison's usually someone who can unlock a door, and he hasn't been doing that recently. And maybe, I don't know if it's because we're inverting the fullbacks, but today I thought we did that less. I thought we played to the wingers more. I just feel like
Destiny Udogie at times was playing in the 9 today in that
the
first
9,
and second
yeah.
half. You know, he was so far up the pitch.
Do you feel like he gets in too many pockets of space, and which is stopping Maddison?
I don't mind Udogie doing that, but I just feel like this new idea of like rigid fluidity or fluid rigidity, whatever it is, this catchphrase where essentially Ben Davies put out a video saying his interview was saying like the only people that have sort of foundational places, there's only 2 or 3. Everybody else can move around as they see fit.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve. It's a steep learning curve. I think Maddison hasn't played it before. But listen, what I would say is, of the 2 of them, right now, at least on the last couple of performances, I don't think Maddison's been very good. I agree with you. Since the injury, he's struggling to come back. On today's performance, I think Lo Celso was sensational, and I think that maybe Maddison needs a little bit of a kick up the backside, 100%. So that maybe against West Ham you start.
Do you think for
Lo
me,
Celso.
I think he's the perfect number 8, Giovanni Lo Celso. I think with Basuma, he's not a natural number 6. With Sarr, I don't think he's a natural number 6, but I think he's a phenomenal player. I got told off for saying that on Spurs Related about Basuma not being a natural 6 or Sarr.
He's not a natural.
I think
6,
they're good players. But I don't think they can play in that role. So maybe I would like to see maybe Lo Celso, Maddison. Is it too? I don't even think Bentancur's a number 6, but I think Basuma might need to be dropped for a game, because I don't think he was at his best again today, which is frustrating.
He got lost in the game.
But look, there are positives. We've got a fantastic midfield, but I really think in the summer, if we invest in a serious number 6, someone who can organise, kind of a leader in that role, I think we'll see a massive change.
Harry, we finally get the goal in. I think I'm not sure what minute it was, 55th or something, an own goal, but it was coming. And once we got to 1-1, it was a fait accompli, wasn't it?
I just thought we had enough firepower to go and beat Luton. Obviously, Luton played well, but give credit to Tottenham. We started to create more chances, and I just thought we had the momentum, and I just thought it was going to score. And we got that in the 55th minute. It was a nice play from Johnson.
Did you believe we were going to get that goal?
I thought we were going to get...
Great, right? Johnson was a massive difference, massive step up from Kulusevski.
First half I thought where we're going to get our goal.
Yeah.
And I thought always, when he comes on, it's always a different dynamic, because he's got such raw pace. And he just gets the defenders frightened, and that's what we needed.
Yeah, his pace on the right with Timo's on the left, it gives those fullbacks something additional to think about. With Kulusevski offers a lot, but he offers us something different, more strength, more coming deep to pick the ball up. Yeah. With Brennan Johnson on the back, getting on the shoulder, Harry, that was the difference. We get the first goal, and once you go 1-1, Luton then can't sit in and try and frustrate the game quite as much. And then obviously Tottenham eventually got the job done with Sonny in the 84th minute or something?
85th minute. And what I'd say, you were a winger, H, so you can vouch for me, but I think any fullback, any level will say, what's the scariest thing to come up against? It's raw pace. It's someone who's going to drive at you. And yes, Timo wasn't clinical in front of goal, but like you say, with Werner, with Johnson, when they've got that, they're holding their line, they've got good positional awareness, balls over the top. If he's driving at you, it's hard to defend. And that's ultimately why we got the goal. Werner created that space out wide, cut back to Johnson, who had a lovely layoff to Son. Johnson as well, when he come on, like we said, Harry, absolutely electric. I think his positional awareness is improving each game. I think before he didn't realise he had to be on the half turn. Sean, me and you spoke about it on your show, saying sometimes he looked like a lost puppy. Like he didn't know where he needed to be. But when he come on today,
better and better,
straight away, he was holding that line and he was ready to go. Yeah. He was always looking like, play me through. And I think
he's improving. For me, Brennan Johnson is learning. Every week, I feel like I'm enjoying watching him play. I can see the growth in him. I can see I thought he was a bit of a wet blouse, if I'm honest, at the start. Now I see him.
There was no
shithousery.
You wanted to grab him and say, "Come on, you're playing for Tottenham now. You're not playing for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
We need you to stay here, and you're a man." You've got to kind of grab him.
I'm seeing more and more of it. I'm seeing more and more of that tenacity and that killer instinct. And look, at the end of the day, guys, just to wrap this up, we've been going for 30 minutes, 14 minutes, but we got the job done, 2-1.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of people were frustrated. I wasn't. I was expecting this, and I think that in the end we deserved the game, deserved the 3 points. We got 3 points, 14 more points to get us to 70. West Ham on Tuesday. Before I'll ask you quickly, before I ask you about how you think we're going to get on against West Ham, how satisfied were you? Are you leaving here today confident? Are you leaving here with concerns? What's your general takeaway after what you've just seen?
I'm happy. Obviously, you got the 3 points, but they played the Newcastle today 4-3, so it's going to be still a tough game. You can see they got now firepower in their front 3 or 4.
And today, you thought, what are you giving it out of 10? Would you say for
us? 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
We weren't our best, but sometimes at these games you need to just get the 3 points, get a job done, and it puts pressure on other teams.
100%. What about you, mate?
For me, I agree with Harry, actually. We definitely weren't at our best, and sometimes you can't always be at your best. I think Arsenal obviously have picked up form, but you saw with them, they went through a bad period, didn't they? But they couldn't get a result together. They weren't performing that well. But in football, you're not going to play your best week in, week out. Yes, it's frustrating because we've seen recently we've not been playing our best, but I do think we struggle more against the weaker sides.
Same,
I think
agree.
Against the top sides, we can exploit the pace.
More space.
Exploit them. Maddison in the middle, our quality shows. But it's just about learning those positions, knowing where everyone needs to be, and to give it time, you'd like to think that once everyone knows where they need to be, we'll break down these teams with ease.
100%. Boys, absolutely brilliant interview.
Thank you.
Harry, I don't know if you've got a channel. If you have,
No,
you haven't.
Spurs
I know you do,
related.
Jack.
This is the twin brother. He comes on with me. Mate, great. I've got to say, I think you've done very
Fantastic,
well.
mate.
First time
Fantastic,
he's done a proper one.
Yeah, fantastic, Harry. Well done, mate. Great debut. We'll get you on next week as well. After the Nottingham Forest game, we'll get you on as well if you come in. Jack, what's coming on the Spurs related?
You know what, guys? We have been slacking a bit, but we'll be back on it. I think some fun content, definitely. I'd like to do more with this man. He's obviously the man about tan. So I love doing videos, but like you say, couple vlogs probably for the matches, and just come over, be friendly, be happy, and we'll have a good chat on Spurs related.
Boys, are we getting top 4?
Yeah, I think so.
Are we getting top 4?
Of course we are. Champions League nights, they're coming.
Are
Don't
we
you
beating
worry.
West Ham?
3-0.
3-1.
Wow. I'm going to say 3-2.
Oh, we'll see. What a man, by the way.
Like, subscribe, and comment, guys. And get over to Spurs related. The link will be in the description.
And as always, come on, you Spurs!
Perfect.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Absolutely perfect.